Yay Media Group.
Why would you keep your medicine in the medicine cabinet? That's nuts.
No, in the kitchen. That's like always that's where my parents always kept it.
Of course they did.
Well, that's where we keep it, in the kitchen.
Because you put it there. I put my Mexican Z-Packs up in my medicine cabinet.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, you're not a very good burglar.
Hey guys, episode 86. Before we start, I'm going to apologize if you hear my kids fighting. They're home from school today. We have snow day. It's our first snow day. And so if you do hear them in the background, they keep playing some football game, and they are nonstop fighting this morning.
Yeah. I got on Jordan because I'm like, you can't start every podcast talking about the weather. I'm like, nobody cares and they don't live here. But today is a snow day and we did get dumped on. I think it seems like a foot of snow outside.
Yeah, we got more coming too, I think this weekend.
Yeah, Colorado crazy weather. So we're not going to focus on the weather, but it does look beautiful though. It looks really pretty outside.
Well, because I have my Christmas up, so it looks magical.
It is.
If we would have got up the stuff for outdoors, it would have looked even more magical.
All this will melt though. That's how Colorado is. All of it kind of melts off and then we get dumped on again and that melts off. So hopefully it melts off. The kids have their their flag football, they have their Super Bowl tournament or whatever it's called. Not Super Bowl, but you get what I'm saying. Their playoffs. That's what I was looking for. This weekend, I don't think that's going to happen because there's way too much snow. And then next week, I looked at the forecast and it's supposed to be 60. So they'll probably be playing that next week. And then next week, we get the rest of our outdoor Christmas stuff up because as you know, we already put it up.
Yeah. It took me, I've already said this, it took me 2 days, but I'm happy that that's all up. And I kind of am glad it's a snow day because Lawson missed already 2 days of school. And I took him to the doctor. I wasn't going to take him to the doctor, but then I get in my head and Lawson has had strep throat so much that I feel like he's immune to strep throat. And last time
Not immune, susceptible.
Sorry. Last time he had a tummy ache, and that was it. His throat really wasn't red. He didn't have any of the white spots in his throat like that are obvious when you get strep. And remember I called you and I was like, he has strep. And you're like, are you serious? And we both were shocked. So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't strep.
Here's a question, and we're not going to answer it. I'm asking you guys, and you could write us in. Those with kids or who had kids or grandkids, whatever the circumstances, you know that every time they go to the doctor, they give you like that antibiotic, right? So it's like what's it called?
Amoxicillin.
Amoxicillin, whatever it is, to get rid of that strep or if they have like some sort of virus. So they give you an antibiotic, but you always kind of have leftover because they give you a big one. And even if you take it for 8 days, twice a day, you still have leftover. So we have a couple just from, over the year or two when the kids were sick last year. Do you guys give your kids antibiotics that are left over before you go to the doctor because they've had the same kind of illness, whether it be strep throat or something else? Do you give them that before going to the doctor and try to cure it yourself? I'm not telling you what we do. I'm just asking you guys the question and putting it out there, and you guys could write us in.
I save all my medicine, and a lot of my stuff is expired. I have antibiotics. I've actually wrote a provider. I'm like, I have this at home. And she's like, you can take it.
Oh, I think just as long as it's not expired or something, because then the potency changes.
I've taken expired medicine before and it still works. You're probably not supposed to do it, but like in my 20s when people are really going to like hate on me right now. But when my parents got a divorce, I was 20? I think 19, 20. And I got off my dad's insurance. And I went, 10 years, 8 years without health insurance? Do not come at me. I was in my 20s and I never was sick ever. And I just saved like old medicine. If like I got sick, I'd just take like an antibiotic. Don't listen to me either. I would just take like an antibiotic if I was feeling sick and I would just heal myself. Now I have a cough and I'm like, I have to go to the doctor. Now that I have kids, everything has changed and I'm paranoid and I think I'm always dying and I think something's wrong and I'm a hypochondriac. And when I was in my 20s, it didn't matter at all because I was like, I can't die. Nothing's wrong with me.
Yeah, but I still, the kids are one thing. For myself, every time I go to Mexico or I have a friend go to Mexico, I have them pick me up a Z-Pack. And over here, I feel like it's really hard to get a Z-Pack, even because I am very susceptible. I grew up every single year when the weather would change, I'd get strep throat. I'd get it like once a year. I don't know what it was, my body, I never had my tonsils out. So I'd always get strep throat. So as soon as, and I get those like white dots on the back or whatever, they're gross and they smell. You ever smell one of those little things?
I think if you take like a Z-Pack or an antibiotic, if you have too much of it, I think your body gets used to it. And then if you really do get sick, it won't work because your body's used to it. I think that's why they're so strict about giving you medicine.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. That's probably the reason. But anyways, I still take that. So I take Mexican Z-Packs, and it seems to do the job. But yeah, we're no doctors. Don't listen to us by any means.
I won't take them because I'm scared they have fentanyl or something in them.
Why would they put fentanyl in a Z-Pack?
I don't know. You're getting it from Mexico. And
So I get my avocado from Mexico. Is there fentanyl in there?
no, I just am scared about, it's just not from, I'm just weird about taking medicine. I mean, like I said, in my 20s, I wasn't. I would do whatever. Now I'm like, if it's not from my provider, I won't take it. Or half the time, if the provider gives it to me, I won't take it unless I absolutely have to. And I barely take Advil, Motrin. I just kind of take like a hot bath. I've become my mom. I'll drink tea or something like that, and I just try to ride it out without taking medicine. That's just kind of how I've been doing.
It's super duper frustrating. I have a cut. I'm like, put Neosporin on it. No, I'm not going to do that. What are you talking about? Put Neosporin and put a Band-Aid on it. Nah. Oh, then take an Advil. It'll help the pain. I don't think so. I'm going to take a bath. And that's it. And then she comes out, my cut hurts. I just told you what to do. Why do you keep asking me? If you're not going to take my advice, why would you keep asking me what to do? And you're not going to take any sort of modern medicine. You go outside and get sap from an elm tree and put it on there because that's what mama does.
I'm
She doesn't do
just like
that.
weird about, I don't know. I'm just like weird about medicine now. It's just funny how when you have kids, everything changes. Just how you think about things, and how when you're younger, you're just more like carefree about things and you're not really concerned. If you have an ache, you're not like, oh gosh, that could be something. You're not I was never Googling things. Well, I've learned not to Google.
Well, yeah, don't go like to
WebMD.
WebMD. I've diagnosed myself and freaked myself out when I was in India. I thought I had.
Oh yeah. If you do WebMD yourself, you think you have cancer, you think you have a disease, you think you have everything.
Oh, speaking of that, I was in India and I thought I had malaria. And every single symptom that I read, like your fingertips start to get cold. As I was reading them, I was getting the symptoms.
Yeah.
But like in my mind, that was before like people told me like, don't diagnose yourself. And then when I finally got to the hospital, because I had to go, because I had like the chills and it was 118 degrees and I was freezing. So I finally went to the hospital, but then my fever broke and I was like, what am I doing? I made myself nuts.
What was it? I forgot.
I don't know. I just had like some sort of viral infection. I had to take antibiotics. By the way, I didn't have like insurance in India or anything like that. I had insurance, whatever it was like 85 cents to get my medicine. And we just paid them like $1. That's how it was in India.
This might be a dumb question, but I ask dumb questions all the time. But let's say you were in Europe and you got hurt, like really hurt, broken arm, and you had to get surgery or something happened. How does that work?
That's a good question because I was just trying to answer that myself. Do they take our insurance? I don't think they do. I think you go by what they do, right? And I think a lot of countries like that, at least Europe, don't they have healthcare for all? Or is that Canada?
But what if they come here and they don't have insurance over there and they come here and let's say somebody gets really hurt in the U.S., what do they do if you don't have insurance? Do we pay for it? Tax dollars?
I don't know the answer to that. So we're not doctors and we're not insurance agents. I don't know. We're giving you guys terrible advice.
Pharmacy.
Take Mexican Z-Packs. Don't listen to us at all. But I have no idea. That's a good question. But when I did go to the hospital in India, it was like 85 cents. I remember that. Because I was like, I just got all that medicine for 85 cents. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, wow. So they might have healthcare built into their system, or if you are visiting, maybe, I don't know how that works. I can't imagine someone who's not a citizen from here, if they're vacation legally, I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
They probably have to work on them, right? I don't know.
They would have to. And then, I mean, this is so dumb and bad. I'm going to get bashed on here for saying this, but when we did Jeff and Jordan Do America, I didn't have health insurance, and we were riding bulls,
But
and you got hurt.
But we were under CBS's insurance.
We were?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. When I tore my bicep riding the bull.
You had health insurance.
I had health insurance. But when our insurance, so we were covered under CBS because we were doing a show for them. That's part of the contract. At least that one was, because when I had that happen to my arm, we waited a couple days. Then they flew me to LA because we were in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So I flew out of New Mexico. It happened in Texas. I flew out of Mexico.
It happened in Oklahoma.
What did I say? Oh yeah, it happened in Oklahoma. That's right. And then did we go on to New Mexico after that?
Yeah, and the hot air balloons.
So I left.
You left.
I left with Josh, a camera guy, editor for us. And I went and got immediate surgery, and they brought me to Los Angeles, and it was the same guy, the same surgeon did Kobe Bryant's ankle surgery.
Yeah.
And he was very proud of it. So they gave me the best care that the guy actually did a fantastic job. So they gave me the best care that they could, and it was under CBS's insurance. I don't think I would have got that guy had it just been me and they set it all up. So when you're under a show, they'll take care of you.
Oh, well, we did pilots for shows, and I'm wrestling an alligator, and no health insurance.
I don't know about the insurance.
But I didn't think about that. I remember you used to always be like, "You're so dumb. Why are you not getting health insurance?" I'm like, "Well, it's like $400 or $500 a month. I'm not paying for it." And
I think now, you say it's dumb, but I think a lot of people are struggling with that because the prices of things are astronomical.
I think now, because the economy, back then it wasn't. I mean, back then I just was like, I'm not paying for that. I was always on my dad's health insurance.
Yeah, but now it's like, especially with kids, you do what you want at home, but you need insurance. And then if something, you crack your head open, or, something pretty big happens that you need a big surgery, or,
that's what I was saying.
You're going to go bankrupt if you don't have insurance.
Back then in my 20s, I wasn't thinking about that stuff. I was like, nothing can happen to me, which something could have, but it was just more carefree about it.
Being 20, I'm going to live forever, man.
I know.
And now we get old and everything. But before we take a quick break, right before we started the show, I just got my colon guard results.
Oh, you did?
I did already.
That was fast.
Yeah, I'm negative. I'm good to go.
Poop was good.
Yeah, the attic or the basement's all clean.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we are going to do some Q&As because we know you guys love that, and then some Dear Krabbies towards the end. So we are going to answer some of those because we have a lot of job questions.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? We have exciting news. On November 20th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, we are going to be doing a live podcast. That's right. You could check us out on Jeff and Jordan TV. We're going to be doing it live right on there, answering all your questions, talking funny stuff. We're going to have tons of giveaways and hopefully no technical problems this time.
Yes, and I can't wait for all of you to get a chance to win some of these giveaways. And it's just a thank you for all of your support, for supporting our little podcast. Why are you talking? Why are you laughing?
Thanks for your support for supporting us. We'll see you then. All right, welcome back. And for those of you guys that watch on YouTube, we got your comments about sometimes there's some cracking or popping. Some of you might not have realized it if you're just listening to it on the podcast. But we are kind of figuring out that technical problem, so we're sorry about that. We're working out a lot of issues. We're working on our internet speed for the live show, which is coming up November 20th at 4 or 5.
Riley.
5.
I need Riley.
5 o'clock Mountain Time. Yeah, so 5 o'clock Mountain Time on November 20th. We already lined up some cool giveaways. Jordan's giving away some
stuff from reindeer games.
Cool personal stuff of hers, which goes along with the holiday season. So make sure you guys put that on your calendar and send in your questions because we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, answering your questions. It's all going to be live. Like I said, we have the team coming out to help us with some of these technical problems. So hopefully we get all that solved and just keep amping up and getting better and better.
Yes, and I wanted to add, I did a post saying that our neighbor Zach would be on for it would be on Veterans Day. He had to go out of town for like 2 weeks. So when he gets back from being out of town, we're going to do an episode. It will not be on Veterans Day, but it will be a veteran episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of these questions, so many people want to know. So I'm trying to, like, while you were talking, I was trying to see like what was going on. Jeff, well, first of all, people want to know, do you have a job?
I don't have a job. I don't have a job yet. It's not from lack of trying or lack of sending out resumes or auditions. I know you guys are getting kind of tired of hearing this, as am I. So I do feel confident about one interview that I went on. That was last week, late in the week, and I felt pretty good about it. Like I said, I don't like talking about things till they're finished. You know, I'm not going to talk about a race.
You feel good about it
till I cross the finish line.
Yeah.
So nothing for certain yet. I am hopeful, like Jordan said, about this job. Even though Jordan tells all my neighbors in the whole neighborhood about it before I get it.
No, I don't.
Doesn't help out.
I told my next door neighbors who we're all very close with, and you would get drunk and tell them a couple hours after I told them. So it's somebody that I would never tell anybody that you wouldn't want to know, or somebody you're not close with.
Nobody.
Okay, if you don't get a job in television, this was another one with multiple questions. If you don't get a job in television, what is something you would want to do?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that too. Like, if I have to leave the business, I don't know what industry I want to get in, because I have kids and a wife and, you know, obviously my family. So I have to do something that also benefits them and kind of take a notch down on my happiness to support my family. And that's something I'm willing to do. But I am getting older, but I'm a manual labor guy. I like to get in there with my hands. I like a hard day's work, you know, checking in and coming out. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but I don't know. I just feel like I've been in this business for more than half of my life. So to start a new career, you know, with a bunch of young kids out of college, I don't even know what the job force looks like now. I don't know what that looks like for me. So I don't know. I joke around about Home Depot and Costco and things like that, but I'm not joking. Like, I feel like I would be happy there. I understand that's not what Jordan wants to hear, but that's what is in the front of my mind right now. Let's hope everything works out. I think it will, but, you know, I have to do what I have to do for my family at the end of the day. And I like getting in there and getting dirty and learning and building and creating. So maybe something in that capacity.
Okay. Changing gears, because we've heard about your job so much. What is a pricey item that you own that was worth every penny? I have an item that I own. It wasn't expensive, but to me, it's pricey because it means a lot. My mom got a ring from her mom, who passed away when my mom was 23. She died of breast cancer at 41, I think. And that, if somebody stole that, I would cry. And so that is pricey to me. And then the only other item I feel like that I have that would be an actually pricey materialistic item would be a Rolex. And I didn't buy it. My dad bought it for me back in the day. It's almost 17 years old. He bought it for me on my... How old am I going to be? No, it's going to be 18 years old. He bought it for me on my 20th birthday. My dad's a watch guy. He loves watches, and he bought me that on my 20th birthday. So that's the only materialistic item that I really own that's actually valuable. Because I'm always like, with people that come in our house, if they're working, I'm like, oh, just do what you need to do. I never care about anything, because anything we have in this house isn't valuable.
Oh, I have a funny story. So to answer that question real fast, my sauna, it was a little pricey, but I go in there almost every single day. I meditate in there. I pray in there. I do all that. So I think not only does it help my health, you know, and sweats out everything, but I also helps my mental health, because I get to calm down and just, you know, focus on what I need to focus. So I get a lot of like mental stuff done in the sauna. But funny story, a friend of ours, well, I don't want to mention his name because he's not here, but is putting his house up for sale. And he, when you have your house up for sale, I guess this is a thing. I never heard about it. He has people come in and out with the realtor, right? And so then they walk around your house and they check out stuff. He went to go take his medicine. He's a little bit older, and he had like pain medicine and stuff, whatever it may be. He was like, goes to his wife. He's like, where did you put my medicine? It's always in here. And she goes, my medicine's gone too. So they had people come over, and I guess it's a thing. I guess I heard Matthew Perry did this. He'd go to open houses and they'd walk around, and the realtor would let you walk around, and they go in your medicine cabinet or in your drawers and they steal your medication.
In your medicine, normally like in your kitchen, wouldn't your realtor see that?
Wherever it was, the realtor wasn't there. And so they're like, go check out the house.
I feel like that's a movie to keep your medicine in the bathroom, right?
You're missing the point of the story.
I know. I'm just...
That people do that just to get their hands on like some sort of Percocets or pain pills or things like that. They purposely go to open houses without the intention of buying your house to get their hands on prescription medications, especially in like nicer, affluent neighborhoods and older people.
Really?
Yeah. Is that crazy? I didn't even know that. And then we had a long conversation about it. And he mentioned that Matthew Perry allegedly did that as well.
I don't know. I feel like that's so old to put your medicine in your bathroom. I'd never do that just because we have kids, and I never want medicine anywhere near. It's always like up high in the kitchen cabinets. And I think that's so weird that somebody would go through somebody's medicine and take it. But I guess if you have an addiction, then you're going to steal whatever you have to do to get it. That's so sad.
Yeah, why would you keep your medicine in the medicine cabinet? That's nuts.
No, in the kitchen. That's like always that's where my parents always kept it. That's where,
of course they did.
Well, that's where we keep it, in the kitchen.
Because you put it there. I put my Mexican Z-Packs up in my medicine cabinet.
Where? In the bathroom?
Yeah.
Where?
In the medicine cabinet. On the left of my sink, that cabinet.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, you're not a very good burglar. Check the safe. If there's money in there, that's the first place you check.
That's crazy.
George's like, Mama keeps money under the mattress. Why doesn't everybody?
Oh my gosh.
You really are like these days really coveted to your mama.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Jordan. Do you have any special plans for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Thanksgiving, we typically just stay here. No plans. Jeff cooks, and Christmas is kind of up in the air this year. I actually, if we do go to Christmas, to Chicago, I am going to rent a car, and I'm going to go see my grandparents. They are in their upper 80s, and I'm going to go help them with some things. And they're just getting older, and I don't see them enough, and I need to try to see them. And they're always by themselves on Christmas. And we're never in Chicago on actual like Christmas Day because I like to be here so my kids can wake up and Santa Claus comes and the whole thing. But if we do go to Chicago, I'm going to go see my grandparents because they could use my help right now.
Yeah. I grew up very traditionally, like we did sides with our, Thanksgiving with my mom's side or my dad's side, or we went to both Christmas Eve with one and Christmas with the other. So that just basically speaking of tradition. So I like traditions. I grew up with a lot of traditions. I don't think Jordan did so much with that, but being away from our family and living in Colorado and not having family here, I'd like to give the kids some sort of tradition. So we try to have Thanksgiving around the table in the living room and try to do the same for Christmas and have them wake up. And we try to go to church on Christmas too. So I like to keep some sort of stability into our holiday routine because when the kids get older, they have that to share. Like, remember even if they didn't like it, it's just like, remember every year we did Thanksgiving at the table or, so that's just something they could think about when they're older. So I try to stick to the old traditions.
Last year, we tricked them. We moved the gifts from where Santa normally puts them in our formal living room. That's like right in the front, like when you walk in the house. And we moved it to the other side and they walked down, they're like, he didn't come. Santa didn't come. And they were so sad. And all they had to do was walk around the corner. It was really funny. I mean, for us, we thought it was funny, but the kids they were pretty stressed. So this is a big brother question. Did you really only get one duffel bag for clothes the the entire 100 days on Big Brother. How?
Well,
So for that, no, they don't show. I had a suitcase that was 80 pounds. I think I packed everything because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what we would be doing. And for the duffel bag, what was in there? I don't even remember. It was just fake. There's nothing in there, right?
no, there's clothes in there.
But when we walked in the house and we had our duffel bag, what was in there? I don't remember. I know I probably had makeup.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's take a quick break and we'll finish up this conversation. All right, welcome back. So that's a good question. I don't even remember what's in there, but I think what was in there was what you needed maybe for that night, because
They have your suitcases. There's like, so what you don't see is there's like a whole police force, like undercover force, and they are going and they have dogs that come and sniff your bag and make sure you don't have medicine.
Yeah, you can't bring medication into the house. If you are on medication, you go in a diary room and they'll supply that, whatever you need for you. But yeah, they do have an actual dog, like a drug sniffing dog that goes through your stuff, and they go through all your stuff individually. At least they did when we were there, because of logos.
Yeah.
They can't have that because then they're gonna have to blur that out on every episode. And when we were on the show, you can't have white. You couldn't wear white at that time.
I feel like now
Because of the camera. I think now they have better cameras where you can have that white, but at the time we couldn't wear white. But you do only get one suitcase. You only get one suitcase. So whatever you're bringing for the whole summer has to fit into that suitcase. I thought that was a rule, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think you're right about the bag. When we're on stage with Julie walking in, I think it's your makeup, a toothbrush, a hairbrush, and an outfit and maybe PJs, because they don't know how long it's going to take for your suitcase to get. And they take your suitcase in the a pantry room.
The diary or the storage room.
Storage room.
Yeah.
That's where your suitcase is. And then once everybody's stuff is checked, then you can then everybody goes at the same time.
What some people don't know is that, well, maybe you do if you're an avid viewer. When you are on the block for Thursday night, like there's no more veto, there's no more chance for you to get off the block. You pack all, even if they're like Jordan staying by vote to 12-0,
Still pack.
you have to pack all your stuff like you're leaving the house, because once you leave, it's over.
And your stuff goes into the storage room. Like, let's say Jeff and I are on the block. Well, we were on the block together. Both of our stuff had to go in the storage room. And then whoever is evicted, someone goes in there. You don't see them. Someone goes in there and will take your luggage. But if it's a surprise eviction and you get kicked out,
like I did,
and you weren't packed, hopefully you have a good Alliance member that will pack your things for you, and then you get it. But I had to pack. But then, you know, it's kind of like an apartment living. Everybody's got stuff everywhere. So you're like, wait, do I have this? Do I have that? Somebody said, I think one year, I think somebody threw away some of my clothes. I don't know if that's true. I never saw it. But I heard that I think some of my clothes got put in the trash.
wow.
I don't.
I'm sure some of the viewers can answer it.
Some of the viewers, I heard on the live feeds, and multiple people said that my stuff, I think something happened. So again, I didn't see it, but yeah, I packed so much stuff. So.
All right, you got any more questions? You want to slip in a couple Dear Krabbies?
Okay, let's do some Dear Krabbies.
Okay, why not?
Oh, wait, let's end on this note, and then we'll save some of these. What are you thankful for this year?
You know what I'm thankful for? Even though I'm thankful for this, I have a lot to be thankful for, even though I'm not currently employed. I have so much to be thankful for, and I try to, give thanks every time I'm in that sauna, which I did this morning, and before I go to bed. So I'm thankful for so many things, and I always start with like the health of my family. And you can have whatever you want, all the money you want, but if you don't have your health, none of it means anything. So I always start with, we have our health and everyone's doing great. And we have a beautiful house that we acquired, through over the years. And that's wonderful. So we have a roof over our head. We have money to to last a little bit till I do land on my feet again. So there's always something bad to look at, or there's always something to complain about that you don't have. It's what you do have that really makes you who you are. So I'm thankful for my relationship, my kids, and my health, and and I even thank whoever you want to thank, but I always pray to God, and I'm like, thank you for the bad things you put me through,
Because it makes you stronger.
because it made me learn that I don't want to be that person again. So as much as the successes I've had in life, I also look at my failures equally to try to build myself to the next level. So I thank God for the good and the bad, and the person I've become, and that I hope I'm a better person tomorrow.
Well, sometimes I think DBO might have, I mean, even though it's doing good, sometimes things have to happen because you're getting redirected.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Something better, even though I do feel bad for you. I do, that you have, not because you lost I do feel bad for you that you lost your job. I feel bad because you put in so many hours and so like the time, and just really tried. And that first 2 years I never saw you, and I was at home with the kids, and like that's what makes me sad, is like all the time you put in, and just because a new CEO stepped in, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I feel bad.
You can't put your finger on why the show's over. And all that hard work, it wasn't for nothing. I've learned so many lessons from that. So you have to look at the good. And I understand the bad, but I'm also thankful for that. But who you are, and I try to tell myself this too, because especially when it first happened, I was really kind of like shook. And who you are, and I am not in my darkest days by any means, but who you are when it's darkest is really truly who you are. Or when you're down in that hole at the bottom, that's who you are. So you have to conduct yourself as if things are going to get better, and you have to believe things are going to get better. Because if you're on the bottom, or it's the darkest, and you start pointing fingers or stealing and robbing and doing the wrong thing, that's who you are. At your core, that's who you are. So you have to maintain some sort of character and belief in that. I know it's dark right now, but things are going to change. And I know from all the lessons that I've learned over the years that I'm going to get back on my feet, and going to not only get to where I was, but in a better place. Because if that cracks in your darkest days, which it's easiest to do if you're out there, I've been to even way darker places. I have a beautiful home and a beautiful family. I really have nothing to complain about, obviously, other than my job. But it's who you are when things are dark like that. And I see that on the internet. And that's the one thing I love about the internet. Like, you see these guys go up to like homeless people, and they're like, can I have $1? But really they're going to give them $10,000 in return. And just see the homeless people. They're homeless. They're on the streets. They have nothing. And some of these people they give them half their money that they have in their whole life. And that's like the goodness of your heart. And I feel like that's your judge of character. It's easy to be great and giving when you're a millionaire and everything's going good, but really deep down, you're an asshole and you don't care about other people. That's disgusting, So it's a good check for me to check myself when things are dark and not going good. But like I said, the lights are on and everything's fine. But in my heart, I want to get better. So I visualize it that way.
Good job. That's good.
This is when I talk to Jordan and she doesn't even respond. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go drink by myself in the corner.
I was good.
Well, really, I don't know. I'm done.
You're feeling.
I'm not in my feelings. I think things are going to turn out okay. And I wasn't like that a couple weeks ago. And I really believe that things are going to be okay. And if they aren't, they're still going to be okay, because look around. It's all about in life right now is what I don't have, and people complaining about things they don't have. And it's gone. Let it go. The election is over. Let it go. You can't control it. You cast your vote. It's over. Let it go. Let's try being better as a society. I can't control that. All I can control is myself. So I'll control my own actions. And my own actions are, I'm going to support my family the best I can with a positive attitude and make every day worth it, because everything goes by in a snap. And our kids are going to be older. They're not going to be running around in their PJs. Christmas isn't going to be the same when they get to a certain age. So you really got to sit in what you're sitting in right now and find what's great around you. And there's a lot of great things.
That's good.
I hate you.
No, I thought you were gonna cry.
I'm not like that. I'm just telling you, I'm in a motivational spot right now.
Good. We're gonna end on that note because that's a great way to end Togetherness episode. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Continuing, download, subscribe. We will see y'all again. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Yay Media Group.